Hello and welcome back to the Lawyer Talk, the podcast channel of BLawyers Vietnam. My name is Dang Thi Kim Chau, and I'm delighted to be with you again in today's episode. In today's session, we will discuss a topic that is the forefront of every business concern at the beginning of 2026, labor law compliance. This is because the changes introduced this year go far beyond paperwork. They directly affect HR, operational or processes, human resources data management, and potential dispute risks if business fail to implement them properly. In this episode, we will walk through 4 key areas that business should pay close attention to. First, electronic labor contract. Second, updates on return on minimum wage. And third, wage and social insurance obligation for part-time employees. And the fourth, obligation relating to the personal data protection in the recruitment, management, and use of employees. The first topic is electronic labor contracts. On the 24th December 2025, the government issued decree number 337 on electronic labor contract, which took effect from the 1st January 2026, marking a significant step toward the digitalization of labor management. An electronic labor contract is a labor contract concluded and established in the form of a data message in accordance with the labor law and electronic transaction clause, and it has the same legal validity as a paper-based labor contracts. When implementing electronic labor contracts under Decree 337, business should know the following key points. The first is requirement on digital signature. The conclusion of an electronic labor contract must use a digital signature, together with the mechanism to verify and authenticate such digital signature in full compliance with electronic transaction clause. It should be noted that a digital signature is a form of electronic signature using asymmetric cryptography, consisting of driver's key used for signing and a public key used for signature verification. In practice, many businesses still commonly use methods such as inserting scanned signature image, click to sign function, or confirmation via email. However, this method does not meet the legal definition and standards of digital signature under law on electronic transactions. As a result, they expose significant legal risks regarding the enforceability of electronic labor contract in the event of a dispute. The second is unique identification code for electronic labor contract. A fundamental change introduced by Decree 337 is that each electronic labor contract, including electronic contract converted from a paper contract, must be assigned a unique identification code. This ID is issued through the electronic labor contract platform developed, operated, and managed by Ministry of Home Affairs and serves as the basis for centralized management of labor contract data, labor infestation, estimation, and reporting, and establishing the legal traceability of contract in the digital environment. Notably, within 24 hours from the time the last party signed the contract, the e-contract service provider must submit the electronic labor contract to the platform for ID assignment. The third is effective date of electronic labor contract. Under Decree 337, an electronic labor contract becomes effective from the time the last party digitally signed, provided that the digital signature is affixed with a valid timestamp, and the contract data message is authenticated by the e-contract service provider. This rule does not apply where the parties have otherwise agreed on a different effective date. Therefore, business should not confuse the effective date of the contract with the time the contract is uploaded to the National Electronic Labor Contract Platform. And the fourth is compliance consideration regarding e-contract service provider. From a compliance perspective, operating electronic labor contract is not merely an internal matter of a business. It depends heavily on the e-contract service provider selected. Under Decree 337, Business must ensure that the e-contract survives provider and the technology solution you meet at the list of the following requirements. First, possession of a license to provide data search services, including data matches authentication services. And second, technical solution enabling connection with the Ministry of Home Affairs Electronic Labor Contract Platform API. The third is identity verification and biometric authentication solution, allowing comparison with the National Database or VNID Level 2. The fourth is software fully compliant with the digital signature and timestamp standard under law on electronic transaction. And the last is compliant with the Vietnamese law on personal data protection and cybersecurity. In practice, many businesses, particularly foreign invested enterprises, accustomed to using international e-signature platforms such as DocuSign or Adobe Sign. The use of these platforms are not automatically prohibited. However, business should carefully review the legal condition, connectivity with Vietnamese government system, data storage mechanism, and the ability to prove the validity of contract under Vietnamese law in order to mitigate the compliance risk during implementation. The second stop is update on regional minimum wage. From the 1st January 2026, regional minimum wage applicable at the basis for salary negotiation and payment have been updated as follows. Region 1, 5,310,000 Vietnam dong per month and 25,500 Vietnam dong per hour. Region 2, 4,730,000 Vietnam dong per month and 22,700 Vietnam dong per hour. Region 3, 4,140,000 Vietnam dong per month and 20,000 Vietnam dong per hour. Region 4 is 3,700,000 Vietnam dong per month and 70,800 Vietnam dong per hour. Business should verify their applicable region in the appended to decree number 293, especially in light of potential changes to administrative boundary. In addition, the Ho Chi Minh City Social Insurance Authority had issued notice number 64 guiding business on reviewing and adjusting labor contract. It's also noted that where a trend in administrative error results in a new minimum wage lower than the wage currently enjoyed by employees as of 31st December 2025, business must continue to maintain the existing wage for employee recruited prior to the date until further regulations are issued. Accordingly, when adjusting wage to comply with the regional minimum wage, businesses are required to submit adjustment dossier to the competent social insurance authority. The third topic is wage and social insurance obligation for part-time employees. Another important issue concern that part-time employee is that employees whose working hours are shorter than the normal working hour required by labor law. From the 1st January 2025, the Law on Social Insurance 2024 provides that the Vietnamese employee working on labor contract with a term of the 1 month or more who work part-time and whose monthly salary is equal to or higher than the minimum salary used at the basis for compulsory social insurance contribution are subject to compulsory social insurance. Specifically, the monthly contribution rate as 8% of the salary used at the basis for compulsory social insurance contributed to the requirement and survive subversive fund. The salary used at the basis for compulsory social insurance contribution is the monthly salary agreed in the labor contract determined as follows. 1e. If the salary agreed on an hourly basis, monthly salary equal to hourly wage multiple total working hour in the month. 2e. The salary is agreed on a daily basis. Monthly salary equal to daily wage multiple total working days in the month. Or the 3e. If the salary agreed on a weekly basis, monthly salary equal to quickly waive multiple total working week in the month. Notably, this group employee is not subject to the commonly understood rule that employees who do not receive wage for 14 or more working days in the month are not required to pay social insurance for that month. This is an important step towards expanding the social security coverage for part-time workers. However, it also requires students to adjust salary calculation methods, working time recording mechanism, and social insurance contribution processes to ensure compliance. The fourth topic is personal data protection in recruitment, management, and use of employees. Under Law on Personal Data Protection 2025, from the 1st January 2026, businesses have specific obligation to protect personal data in recruitment and employee management. The first is, in recruitment, businesses must know that the first point is, they may only require information necessary for recruitment purpose in accordance with the law, and such information may only be used for recruitment and other purposes as 3 in compliance with the law. And the second point is, information must be processed in accordance with the legal requirements and with the consent of the job applicant. And the third point is, job applicant information must be deleted or destroyed if the applicant is not recruited, unless otherwise agreed. And the second, in employee management and use, business must, the first point is, comply with the law or relevant regulation on labor, employment, and data protection. The second point is, store employment personal data for duration required by law or as a right, and the third point is, delete or destroy employee personal data upon termination of the labor contract unless otherwise agreed or required by law. And the third is, where personal data is collected through technological or technical measure, must know the following. The first point is, such measure may only be applied in accordance with the law, ensuring the right and interest of data subject or the places that employees are clearly informed of such measure. The second point is, personal data collected through unlawful, technological, or technical measures must not be processed or used. In addition, Decree number 357 provides that the cross-border transfer of personal data for the purpose of cross-border exchange management under internal labor rules, labor regulation, or collective labor agreement in accordance with the law are not required to conduct cross-border personal data transfer impact assessment. Ladies and gentlemen, we have now worked through the 4 key areas that business should pay close attention to encounter strengthened labor law compliance in 2026. I hope the insight provide you with useful update and practical points to review in your day-to-day operation. If you have any question or comment, please feel free to leave them below. For more information about BLawyers Vietnam, please visit our website with the link Declare Business, the Lawyer Talk podcast stream. Thank you for listening and see you again.